We'll gather around, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment,
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we have a packed full video today. I've got an announcement later on, but first we are going to do this unboxing. Now, I have just recently become affiliated with Lrisy, and they have sent me some beautiful glitters to try. Now, the first three that I'm showing you are ones that they just sent to me. I didn't pick these ones, so I had to find them on their website. The first two I was able to find. The third one I couldn't. I don't know if it was a custom mix or if it was something that maybe they don't sell any further. This one right here, I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. Do you see the flowers and the pinks and the green? I mean, beautiful, beautiful glitters. Now, I have not used their products before. And let me just tell you that the what you're seeing on camera does absolutely nothing for the sparkle and the beautifulness of these glitters that you get in person. I mean, they are absolutely stunning. They have so many variations of color, shape, size. I mean, they have all of the things. Like, really. Do you see the color shift in that one? Come on now, stop. And just so many different colors. Now, I chose a bunch of colors that I haven't been able to find anywhere else in the certain shades, and I'm super happy about it. Like look at that. Look at that color shift in there. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry. I'm super excited about this, and it's so funny because I was never a glitter person before I started resin, but these are all of the things. Now, this one, it's a 3D bubble. What is that? Like, honestly, and it is so fabulous. We're going to use that one in today's project. This lilac and this yellow. All of my yellows are either like bright neon yellow or like a goldy kind of color. Like, that is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so for today's project, oh, and before I forget, there is a 15% off discount code for you if you decide that you want to try any of their glitters. Link and all of that is in the description box below, along with all of the links to each one of these glitters for you guys. My daughter-in-law loves coffee, and I found this really cute little puppy with a coffee cup mold, and I thought that it would be cute because her and my son just moved into their own house, and they need, when you first move in, you know how it is. You've got kind of like nothing and whatever, and she wants to do kind of like bright, happy, cheerful, rainbow type colors all over the place. So that's kind of what we're going to do. And I figured that since she loves coffee so much, this would be really cute. So first things up, we are using some of Let's Resin's chrome powder. Now this is the purple, and I thought that it would just be absolutely gorgeous as the coffee cup. And then we're going to go in with a couple of other colors just to kind of highlight the dog and the coffee beans. We're gonna pour brown resin in, a mixture between the Let's Resin coffee mica and then the latte by this little piggy. But for the actual, like, the dog and the coffee beans, what I'm gonna do is I could have gone with a brown mica and just dusted that off, but I thought I wanted to go black. But with black mica powders, I don't know, they always don't look like super black. They always have a kind of like a weird silvery grayish type color to them. So I thought I'd go in with a little bit of the Let's Resin black holographic glitters, like the glitter powder, and then I did that just like along where the lines of the coffee bean are, just to add some shadow to it. Then in the dog's little nose, and then I did some of the gold chrome powder by Let's Resin for some highlights on the fur of the dog. All right, so that is done, cleaned up. Now it is time to work on the resin. Now, like I said before, we are using a combination of two different colors. And for today's project, I'm using Craftor epoxy resin, and then later on I will be using their tabletop resin. Now, for the dog, I don't think it's going to take a lot. So I just poured into two separate cups just a little bit of the Craftor epoxy resin, and then we are going to use some of the coffee colored mica by Let's Resin. Mix that up really, really well, and then some of the latte. Now the reason I'm doing this is I don't want it just to be one color. I do want the dog to have some variation of color just to make it not quite so plain and boring, you know? But when I pour it, this time, how I typically go in with a little bit of clear first. We're not going to do that today. So I am going to pour very, very methodically. There is a reason to how I'm going to pour this, and that is I want to make sure that the colors are mixed on the dog. Now, behind the cup, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. I'm not going in real heavy on the coffee beans with that light brown, not at all. I'm going to concentrate this coffee color down there because coffee beans are dark. So I'm really just filled that up with the dark coffee colored resin. And now I am kind of just zigzagging it all over the place, because when you're working face down like we are, so that the bottom of the mold is going to be the front of our project, however you lay that resin, wherever it lands, it's going to be where it stays. Now, is there going to be a little bit of movement? Yes, but it's going to be more hard lines and stuff like that. So if I would have just went in and poured just a bunch of that latte down first and then the brown, you're not really going to see that dark brown come through, which is why I just did, a very thin stream and kind of just went with it like that so that I can see more of it. I'm not trying to mix it up or any of that kind of stuff. I just want it to do its own thing, but I do want to see both colors in there. All right, for the tray. Now we are going all kinds of crazy bright colors, and I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Now, like I told you before, we are using some of that red orange 3D bubble glitter from Lrisy, and I just took a little bit of resin and I am packing in the glitter. Now, I'm not using a crazy amount, okay? This glitter is just like oh, just wait, just wait, just wait. But that is going to be for around the edge of our mold, and then we're going to go in with the colors. Now, contemplated on doing the majority of it white and then going in and kind of marbling in the colors, but we're just going to kind of just throw it all in ish. Quick spray of alcohol. Now I'm going around the edges, like I said, with the glitter. Now I just want enough of this in here to kind of coat that bottom right there. I I want it to predominantly stay there. Now, if it moves, it's going to move. I'm not waiting for it to dry. It'll be fine. It just will. And then I'm taking the rest of the clear because because I want the movement on this one. So I do want to have a clear kind of base coat on there for my resins, all my different colors, to be able to move and blend and flow a little bit better. So I just heated that with my heat gun to pop any bubbles that may have been left in the resin and to kind of thin it out just a little bit to make it so that I could spread it all over the bottom of that tray. And now we are going in with our colors. Now we are using Eye Candy's pigments today, and we are using this is Kihada yellow. It's Kihada yellow. Beautiful yellow. That is gorgeous. And then we're going to use the jade green that I have previously used, and we're using that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wisteria purple because it's just absolutely, I mean, it's wow. It's like almost makes me speechless because I can't think of the words to describe how absolutely beautiful that color is. I mean, just look at it. Gorgeous. Don't forget, I do have a coupon code for eye candy for you guys too. Okay. So, and we also are using some Let's Resin Ocean White pigment paste in there as well, just to give it, because I don't want it to be a clear tray, just to break up the colors a little bit more. Now I went in with my yellow, then hit it with some white, and now the green, and now we're going in with that wisteria. And I know, it looks like a hot mess. It'll be fine. Now, I did have some of the glitter resin left over, so I just kind of threw a little bit of that, just drizzled it in. And then we're going to take our heat gun and we are just going to blow out this a little bit. I don't want it to completely merge the colors, but I do want them to kind of be flowy and not just blobs. Does that make sense? So that's what we're using our heat gun for. Finishing up the rest of the white, and then we're going to go in with the rest of all of our colors, give it another quick blowout, and let it do its thing. Now, I know that it looks like a hot mess and it looks like it's going to be awful. It's not. I promise. I promise it's not. Just trust the process, right? Okay. Now, at this point, I realized that I wasn't going to have enough resin to completely fill this mold. And I was debating on whether or not I wanted to make more resin to fill it or just kind of let it be. It would be fine. Like, it's not a huge deal. It's covering that bottom where the actual, like the tray part is with enough resin that it's not going to be like super crazy, ridiculously thin or any of that stuff. It's just not going to be quite as thick as it was before. And I decided that I'm fine with it. Now this part I was questioning my decision when I did it, but I took the rest of the latte I had and I just kind of drizzled that in as well. And as I was doing it, I was like, "What are you thinking, Nicole?" But it'll be fine. Now I'm not going in there with the dark brown because that would just be a bit much. But this color, I mean, it kind of, I don't think it's going to do enough that it's going to like mess it up. It'll be fine. So now just blowing out that a little bit, and then we are going to just kind of swirl-ish real quick the bottom. Not that I expected to say, because it's definitely not. And here we are 24 hours later. It is time to demold and see how this turned out. And at this point, well, it's not quite 24 hours later. I did pour it later on in the day. So it's maybe, I don't know, 16, 18 hours. So it's still very flexible. But I think it turned out quite cool. Do you see the camera just doesn't do that glitter justice. The sparkle and the colors that are reflecting off of that glitter that I put in it's beautiful. And here is our little doggy with the coffee cup. Now, even though this was, I think it was like a fondant or some type of mold like that, and it wasn't shiny. But do you see how shiny, even still not being shiny, that chrome powder turned out on that mold? Absolutely beautiful. Now it is time to do some more detailing. And I decided that even though I put in the black holographic powder and stuff, and we did get a little bit of like where the black kind of shows through on it. I mean, it doesn't, you can't tell that it's holographic powder, like that it's the glitters, just because it really wasn't enough in and it wasn't varnished down or anything like that. And with the fact that it's a matte mold, it, you kind of lose the glitter effect in there anyway. Now, I could shine it up and we'd probably get it back, but I'm just going to kind of put in a little bit of black with my paint pen, and just to darken it and make it better. And then we're going to do the eyes and the paws, like where his nails would be. I'm going to do them, but then I'm going to wipe it off. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want a hard, thick black line. I just want a little bit of the color left behind. So where I'm wiping it off, I'm not wiping all of it off, but the majority of it, just so it almost like it has like a shadow of it in there. All right. So that's done. Now it's time to do this. Now, I just recently got in a bunch of silk screens because I have seen them on several different channels and thought that it would be pretty cool to try. And I found this one and I thought this would be perfect for just what we're doing, right? Coffee loading, please wait. Thought it would just go just wonderful with it. So I'm going to put it on here. Now, I was contemplating on color, and at first I was just going to go white. But then I decided that instead of just doing one color, what if I did like an ombre effect? So we're going to do white, right? But then we're going to kind of ombre it into this magenta color that will not get lost in all of the colors of the tray, but also complement it. So I'm just kind of dotting in about where I want the colors to be. And then where I want the merge to start, that's where I've doubled up. Starting in with the white, I'm going to do the white first. And I'm just kind of smearing it in with one of my silicone little spatula jobbies. And then when I get to the point where I'm going to start mixing them, I'm going to do it kind of very carefully because I don't want to go over into the white where I want it white, and I don't want the white to go into where I want the magenta. So at this point, you've kind of got to, while you're first applying those colors through there, be very careful on how you're pushing it through. And I am using a paper towel to wipe it off on just to kind of get any excess paint off of it. And then we're going to go and wipe off the majority of this and make sure that we've got our blend really, really well. And while I do this, I'm going to talk to you about my announcement that I have, which is very, very exciting. Let's Resin has contacted me this morning and said, hey, we see that you are getting really close to your 5,000 subscribers, and we would like to join in on your celebration and offer something to give away. So, where we don't have the details down yet, we are going to do a week worth of videos. I mean, like the 3, not like 7, because I would never get it done. And we are going to do several different giveaways during the week. So we've got the 3 gallons of resin from Craftor that we will be doing. We're also going to have one for Let's Resin. And then the third one will be, it's a question mark right now. I'm still in the planning stages of it. And we are just going to do a week celebration of 5,000 subscribers. And you guys get to join in and enjoy some free giveaways. Okay, back to the video. So I've got my paint down. I removed the silk screen, took it immediately to the sink and rinsed off the paint so it doesn't dry and ruin it. Now, this is about an hour later. I wanted to make sure that paint was well and dry. And what I'm going to do is I decided that I want the little puppy dog to be standing up in the middle of my tray. So I just took some Let's Resin UV resin and I kind of resined him right where I want him so I don't have to worry about holding it for the next, 12 hours. And he'll stay and I don't have to worry about anything. And now we have our Craftor tabletop resin. And I'm just pouring a little bit at a time and blowing out the bubbles because it is very bubbly. I mixed it faster than I should have. But honestly, when you're dealing with your tabletops, it's a super, super high viscosity resin, no matter what brand it is. It's very, very thick, and those bubbles are going to come. And unless you actually have like an actual vacuum chamber, you're not going to get those bubbles out from just like a regular bubble remover. Like it's too thick for that, and it's just going to make it worse. So you're doing it thin, hit it with a heat gun or whatever, and you can get the majority of those bubbles out immediately. And then as it cures, the rest, if there's any left, will come to the surface. Now, that doesn't mean mix it like a maniac and put, millions and billions of micro bubbles in there, because those will probably never come out. But you're going to get bubbles when you mix thick resins like this. It just is what it is. All right, so I did take a scribe and I went in between all of the little areas where the coffee beans are just to make sure that the resin is well and good all the way around, so I have a really, really good seal on it basically to keep it kind of glued into place. And here we are 24 hours later. This is all done. I think it turned out Really, really, really cute. Huge thank you to Lrisy for the glitters. I'm super happy with them. They are all so, so beautiful. Anyway, that's a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. I will see you on Thursday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Elephant is strong. Together we belong. In every comment bright, you lift me to